Yes, I can. That's that nice.
Turn that. You should probably close the lights in there. Like, Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey Bulldogs, I'm Mr. B.
And I'm Andrew Larossi, and this is Code Blue. Thank you.
No, thank you, less talented Larossi.
That doesn't mean much coming from a Giants fan. How about that Odell Beckham trade?
Speaking of great athletes, let's take a look at how our track athletes fared at Division IV finals this past weekend.
Three of Holbrook's very own track athletes ran the D4 states. Elijah Paul and Emily Cochran ran the 100-meter hurdles, and Emily Cochran and Caleb Ngola both set personal records in the 400-meter hurdles. That means that Emily has set a new team record in the event, finishing 12th in D4 with a time of 1 minute and 11 seconds.
It was good. This is my second year doing track, so I'm still kind of getting used to it, and my body was kind of like wearing away as the year went on because pentathlon, but I did fair. I learned how to warm up, keep my legs warm, keep my legs active, never to sit down or your body will slow down. So warming up and getting ready for my event. It was surprising how a lot of people came for the MIAA division. We had people from Cape Cod, Martha's Vineyard, all over. Join track. It's really fun. Everybody could find something that they like about it, and it's a fun event and fun thing to do with your life.
That was sports. Back to you in the studio.
I guess I was wrong about the less talented Larossi. Thank you, Andrew.
Let's settle this once and for all by finding out what we didn't know with Chuck Larossi.
Did you know that it takes fewer than 5 gallons to produce 1 ounce of peanuts?
Thank you, Chuck. After watching that, it is clear you are both equally talented.
Let's move on to other sports news. Yesterday, the Bulldogs defeated South Shore Christian Academy 4-2. Billy Curtis and Zach Juzan scored in the first to give the Bulldogs a 2-1 lead. South Shore tied it at 2-2 in the second. Tyler Davis came in relief in the third, shutting out South Shore while facing only 17 batters in 5 innings, striking out 6. Jerry Valero scored the winning run in the 4th inning. Joe McLaughlin scored the final run on a double by Billy Curtis. The boys wrap up their season today at Sacred Heart after that great win.
In softball news that you may have missed, after finally beating West Bridgewater earlier in the season for the first time in over 20 years, the team secured their spot as league co-champs with their win over Avon Wednesday. This is the first time since 1986 that the girls have won a softball league championship, but both the baseball and softball team dedicate their games against Avon in honor of Mr. Buckley. There was a moving tribute. If you want to see the full ceremony, it's on Code Blue HMHS YouTube page.
The softball team beat Blue Hills twice in a doubleheader yesterday. The girls scored 47 runs over the 2 games and led up 0. On the mound, senior Caroline Curtis picked up the win in the first game, striking out 13, while 8th grader Taylor DeBona got her first varsity win in the circle in the second game, striking out 6. Offensively, the team was led by the 2 seniors on their senior day. Caroline Curtis had 10 hits over the 2 games, including 5 singles, 2 triples, and 3 dingas. Caitlin Andrews had 5 hits and 4 runs scored. Junior Caroline Duggan also had 10 hits and scored 7 runs on the day. The Lady Bulldogs finish out their season today at 3 p.m. here at home against South Shore Christian Academy. Stop by and support the team in their last game before the tourney. Stay tuned for info about their upcoming tourney schedule.
Now let's move on to the sport of politics with an update on the presidential candidates with Kevin Hillman.
Hello, and welcome back to Politics Kev. Today we will be covering 2 more presidential candidates. The first of these two candidates is Senator Kamala Harris. Ms. Harris served as Attorney General of California from 2011 to 2017, and also served as the District Attorney of San Francisco from 2004 to 2011. She currently serves as the Junior United States Senator, as she has since 2017. She claims to support things like Medicare for All, legalization of marijuana, sanctuary cities, and many other policies, though some question whether she truly supports some of these policies, and in the past she opposed legalization of marijuana. The second candidate who we will be covering is Howard Schultz. Mr. Schultz is a former head chairman of Starbucks, and his campaign has mainly been being against the further left and further right candidates. And he has said he wants to reduce the debt, cut entitlements, oppose Medicare for all, and oppose taxes on the wealthy. That's all for me. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Kevin. If history has taught us anything, it is that the cornerstone of democracy rests on the foundation of an educated electorate.
Nice Thomas Jefferson quote. Speaking of an informed electorate, today, juniors, sophomores, and freshmen were called down to hear speeches from candidates running in student elections today. Still not sure what you might be voting for? Let's send it to Matt Messina to find out what exactly today's election is all about.
The student government elections will be taking place later today. While the 6th to 8th grade will be voting in the fall, freshmen, sophomores, and juniors will today. But what are we even voting for? Let's take a look. Firstly, class officers. They run school events such as Senior Week, Semi-Formal, and especially prom. Additionally, they create homecoming banners and class t-shirts. Secondly, student council. They run school events such as homecoming and the pep rally. Thirdly, school council works with students, parents, teachers, community members, and administration to create the student handbook and the student improvement plan. Lastly, the student advisory board is the student representative of the school committee. They additionally give updates on the school's progress. I hope you're ready for a lot of mispronounced names. Let's go. The student council representatives are Aaron Cullity, Vincent Tran, Joseph McLaughlin, Marissa Todd, Ruby Ambrelt, and Dallas Rodriguez Vieira. The student advisory board candidates are Maddie Connor, Caroline Duggan, Carrieta Jocks, and Isabel O'Connor. And the school council candidates are Maddie Connor, Caroline Duggan, Carrieta Jocks, and Isabel O'Connor. All of the candidates intend to help the Holbrook Middle High School one way or another. Be sure to cast your vote on who is best suited for the role in your opinion and try to ignore bias or previous knowledge of the person. Voting will take place at lunchtime, so keep an eye out. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Matt. Each class will be receiving a ballot in their email at lunch. Take the time to check the box for the candidate who you think will represent you the best.
No need for a segue here. The spring sports banquet is Monday at 6 p.m. in the auditorium. Remember, there is no cost to attend. All JV and varsity athletes are invited to be recognized for their efforts this season.
Now let's find out what George Starr settled on for a topic this week.
Did you know? Wait, that's the wrong segment.
Your segment is science, George.
Science?
Yeah.
What is that? What's science? I'm still sick, so bear with me, please. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to This Week in Science. Actually, I shouldn't even call it that anymore because of the Google Form submissions. I'll just send out another one to try and find a good name for my show. Anyway, I'm here discussing Avengers Endgame. We've seen time travel in movies before. Back to the Future, Hot Tub Time Machine, and the SpongeBob movie from a few years ago. The time rule in Endgame is different from what happens in, well, let's say Back to the Future. The rules in that movie are if you interact with your past self or change some important thing, you could be wiped from existence. In Endgame, when you travel back in time and grab, let's say, an Infinity Stone, because that didn't happen in the movie at all, when an event is changed into the past, it creates a new timeline where that happens instead. I forgot to mention that there are some spoilers in this, so be alert if you haven't seen it yet. When the Avengers go back in time to collect the Infinity Stones, a new timeline is created where they did this, before Thanos did. Thanos from 2014 captures Nebula after she gets the Power Stone and finds out the Avengers' plan. Thanos and Gamora and Nebula jump from 2014 through time to 2013 to fight the Avengers. When Captain America goes to the past and returns all the stones, he creates a timeline where all the stones were returned to the original places and prevented Thanos from collecting them. In the MCU, if you go back in time, you don't change your future. You create an alternate parallel universe where the thing you change is actually changed there. We can see this in the new Spider-Man movie, with Mysterio. Nick Fury says that he is from Earth, but not just from ours. In fact, the new Spider-Man movie is all about the people and monsters being pulled from other parallel universes. Also, either next segment or over the summer, I'll talk about the characters in the MCU versus the comic versions of them, and if they're better or worse from their comic counterparts. And as always, love you 3000.
Thank you, George. Mr. B, I hear some might call you a music man.
I do fancy myself as a solid garage guitar player.
Well, on that note, get it? Note? That was a horrible pun. Anyway, let's see what Rob thinks of some music he has been listening to recently.
Here comes the cowboy.
Here Comes the Cowboy by Mac DeMarco. It adds lots of elements of country music and indie rock. I'm not usually a country type of guy, but Mac pulls it off quite well. Overall, this album gets a 100 out of 10. Fantastic album. My favorite songs are Here Comes the Cowboy, Little Dogs March, Preoccupied, On the Square. Bye.
Thank you, Rob. You should be ready to review the new Brian DeStupe and the Old Haunts album to drop this summer.
Interested in playing football next fall? There will be a meeting this coming Wednesday, June 5th in the cafeteria immediately after school for any students interested in suiting up for the Holbrook Avon squad.
Let's take a look at another talented squad with Natalie and Savannah and their 5 Fat Animal Facts of the Week.
I'm Natalie.
I'm Savannah.
This week, quokka! Fact number 1. If a quokka mother is threatened by a predator, she will often throw her baby.
I'm eating children. Fact number 2. It's actually illegal to own quokkas. Quokkas? Quokkas. So if you want one of those little babies, you can't have one.
Please, can I have a ticket?
We're out of tickets.
Fact number 3. So basically this Dutch traveler went to Australia and found these quokkas. He was like, what are these, rats? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my god. They're filming.
It's Charlie's. Oh god.
Fact number 4. Quokkas are not afraid of humans, so they're not afraid of you or your fat stunk. They're fearless. Oh no, my sleeve! No!
Fact number 5. Quokkas regurgitate their food. So they eat it, spit it back out, then eat it again. You okay? Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching.
Back to you in the studio.
Back to you. No, please.
Thank you for that entertaining take on a quokka. Related to nothing, the library will be closed today after school due to a faculty meeting. Monday.
Tomorrow is graduation day for the seniors, and the underclassmen of Code Blue would like to take a moment to remember Big Man and his journey from 7th grader who couldn't keep up with the teleprompter, so they had to write written notes for him, to a senior who still can't read a teleprompter but learned how to give us a great show week in and week out this year.
Hi, I'm Aiden Kelly. My opinion. I get an opinion in this.
Mr. Kelly.
The polls have just been in. I'm pretty sure we won.
I know he'll do good things in life.
The entertainment industry may have just hit its all-time high in this generation.
He's going places, and I feel like he's got a bright future ahead of him.
People of Holbrook, I am back to claim my rightful spot on Holbrook High News with a message from the gaming world.
And I hope he does something great in his life.
A wise choice, Adele. Let's hope Donald Trump won't call you from California dreaming about who they used to be.
Once you get to know Aiden, he's like one of the nicest, funniest kids you've ever met.
Thanks, guys. It's good to be back. I'm Aiden, and this is the entertainment section of the news. Hello, people of Holbrook. Welcome to the entertainment segment of the news. I'm Aiden Kelly, your resident geek. Hello, people of Holbrook. Welcome back to another year of news from the best underage reporters out there. I'm Aiden Kelly, and this is the entertainment section of the news.
Hello, people of Holbrook. No need for introductions. Let's begin.
Hey, Bulldogs. I'm Aiden Kelly.
And I'm Carrington Andrade.
This is going to be a live broadcast of your school morning announcements.
As you guys can see, and said by Mr. Gorman, we're in the auditorium right now. Beautiful auditorium, oddly gym-shaped auditorium, but the auditorium nonetheless. Thank you, Mr. Gorman, for saying that we are in the auditorium. For the Credit for Life fair that all seniors will attend.
He's constantly working on something, like either a script with Chuck or his own thing, or ideas for a new show. He's always doing something. He's never slacking whenever he's in the studio or in here in the editing room. He's always doing something.
I'm just ecstatic right now for the new school to come out. I think I'm gonna be in my junior year, and then it's the entire gonna be done in my senior year. So I'll at least be able to stay there for roughly 2 years.
And I'm Aiden Kelly. See you next Friday.
And I will stand back to you guys in the studio. Bye, guys. Bye. I will see you next time. Entertainer out.
Now that's all I have for you guys. Back to you.
I'm Aiden Kelly. Until next time, Holbrook. Sign off!
Aiden made Video Production Club what it is today. He's going to do great things in life.
Yep, let's do this. Getting good.
It was really cool to watch Aiden grow and develop as an on-camera talent the last 6 years.
It's also pretty amazing to think he went live to the entire town to call the election that built this school. Aiden, thank you for your contributions to our family, and we look forward to see what your next adventure holds. That about wraps it up for us.
This has been fun and not as easy as it looks. I'm Mr. B.
And I'm Angela Rossi. See you next Friday.